Hi YouTube, Tim Unkert here. In this video, we are going to solve quadratics that can be factored but have the number in front of x squared greater than 1. So let's look at this first one. We're going to solve 8x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. First, we're going to factor it. So we're going to list the factors of 8. Those are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. And I'm just going to list the positive factors for this one. Now we have the factors of negative 15. Those are 1 and negative 15 and negative 1 and positive 15. Also, we could do 3 and negative 5 and negative 3 and positive 5. Okay, so we want to find the combination that adds up to positive 2. So if I do 4 times 3, that's going to give me 12. If I add that to 2 times negative 5, that's going to be added to negative 10. So 12 plus negative 10 is like 12 minus 10. That gives me the 2 here that I want. So let's write our factored form for the left-hand side of this equation. Okay, so we got 2x here. Got 4x here. We want the 4 to be multiplied by a positive 3, so we're going to put the plus 3 on the inside because the inner terms multiply. And we want the 2 to be multiplied by negative 5. So we're going to put a minus 5 on the outside because the outer terms multiply. That's going to be set equal to 0. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. I'm going to say 2x plus 3 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides here. And these are going to cancel. I'll get 2x equals negative 3. And then I'll divide by 2, running a little bit out of room here. And so I get x equals negative 3 halves. I'm also going to set 4x minus 5 equal to 0. I'm going to add 5 to both sides here. And the 5 and the minus 5 are going to cancel out. I'm going to get 4x equals 5. I'll divide both sides by 4. And so I'll get x equals 5/4. So my two solutions here for this first one are x equals negative 3 halves and x equals 5/4. Let me fix that 4 there. It's sad and depressing. Okay, so 5/4. All right, and there we go. We got problem 1 done. Okay, let's go separate this. Let's do a different color here. Let's do like maybe this color. I mean, that's too aggressive. This color would be good. Let's get it a little thicker here. All right, so next one we're going to solve 6x squared plus 17x minus 14 equals 0. So I'm going to list the factors of 6. So those are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And I'll also list the factors of negative 14. So those are 1 and negative 14, negative 1 and positive 14, 2 and negative 7, and negative 2 and positive 7. Now, if I take 3 here and I multiply it by 7, that gives me 21. I will then have to take this 2 and multiply it by negative 2, giving me negative 4. 21 plus negative 4 is 17, which is the middle number that I want. So those are the numbers I'm going to use. All right, so I'm going to factor this to, why is that doing that? Okay, there we go. I'm going to factor this to 2x. And we'll have to figure out where I put the 7. And, well, 3x is my other coefficient here. Where that equals 0. So I want the 2 to multiply by -2, so I'm going to have to put the -2 on the outside here, and I want the 7 to multiply by 3, so I'm going to put the +7 here. All right, so we're going to set each of these factors equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to say 2x plus 7 equals 0. And I'll subtract 7 from both sides. 7's will cancel here. I'll get 2x equals -7. I'll then divide by 2. And I'll get x equals -7/2 is one of the solutions. Now I'll also set 3x minus 2 equal to 0. We'll add 2 to both sides. Twos will cancel here, and I'll get 3x equals 2. We'll divide by 3. And the 3's will cancel out. I'll get x equals 2/3. So my two solutions are x equals -7/2 and x equals 2/3. All right, and we're done with that one. All right, let's try another one. Problem 3. Let's do that in a different color. Let's do that in a light green. Oh, there we go. That's nice. So we got 20x squared plus 29x plus 5. So we have a plus and a plus, so all these factors are going to be positive for this one. So I could do like 1 times 20, 2 times 10, or 4 times 5. And to multiply to 5, I can only multiply 1 times 5. Now 5 times 5, what is that? Well, that's 25. And then we got this sad looking 1 over here. Let's make it better. All right, if we do 1 times 4, well, that's 4, right? So 25 plus 4 gives me 29. Those are the numbers I want. So let's write this in factored form. So 4 and 5 are my coefficients in front of x. So I have 4x and 5x. That equals 0. I want the 5 to multiply by a positive 5, so I'm going to put the plus 5 here. And I want the 4 to multiply by positive 1, so I'm going to put the plus 1 here. Okay. Now I'm going to set each of these factors equal to 0. So I'm going to say 4x plus 5 equals 0. I'll subtract 5 from both sides here. 5 minus 5 is 0. We get 4x equals -5. We'll divide by 4. And we get x equals -4/5. I'll set 5x plus 1 equal to 0. I'll subtract 1 from both sides. I'll get 5x equals -1. Divide by 5. The 5's cancel here, and we get x equals -1/5. So my two solutions here for this one are x equals -5/4 and x equals -1/5. All right, cool. Last one. Let's separate it here. All right, so this last one's slightly different. What color should we use? This dark blue is good. So we got 7x over this side. We got to get one side equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. I'm going to line it up with like terms. So that's going to give me 63x squared minus 27x minus another 7x is minus 34x. And then plus 3 equals 0. So because this is a negative here, I'm going to list the negative factors of positive 3, which are -1 and -3. And I'll do the positive factors of 63, which are 1 and 63. 2 doesn't go into it. 3 goes into it 21 times. Let's see, 7 and 9 go in. Okay. And we want to get -34. Now, if I do 9 times -3, that's -27. And 7 times -1 is another -7. That gives me my -34 here. So I'm going to use 7 and 9 as my coefficients in front of x. So we got 7x and 9x. And I want the 9 to multiply by the 3, so -3, and the 7 to multiply by the -1, so I'm going to put that over here. Okay, now I've got to set each of these factors equal to 0, so I'll say 7x. Let's do a better 7 there. That one's a little unhappy. So 7x minus 3 equals 0. We're going to add 3 to both sides here. These cancel, and I'm going to get 7x equals 3. We'll divide by 7. So we get x equals 3/7 is one of my solutions. And we'll also set 9x minus 1 equal to 0. We'll add 1 here to both sides. So 9x equals 1. Divide by 9. All right, so our solutions are 3/7 and 1/9. And there we go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe.